Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Damn Parenting, your English speaking parenting podcast from Amsterdam. And this is another Damn Chats with me, Maren, and my lovely host.
Eva.
Hi, hi. And as you can hear, we are still both sick. We are not as sick that we can't record. So we did sit in front of the microphones and thought, let's chat away. And let's chat away about this freaking last week where everyone was and is still sick.
Last
How did we
month.
get
It's the
last
last
month? Yeah.
month. Come
Oh
on.
my God. It's like a never-ending story. How did we get through this? It's like a
How?
fever blur.
Honestly, it's genuinely insane. Myself and Maren, so we've noticed a couple of things with our kids over the last while, and I just realized something today, and I kind of was addressing it with Maren, kind of saying, before my daughter got sick, 3 days prior, she was not herself. I didn't understand it and I thought, oh, whatever. But she just was consistently not herself. And then, bam, here comes the fever, here comes the cough, here comes everything. Body shut down. And that was it for 10 solid days. And now Maren, unfortunately, is potentially
Yeah.
entering into that red zone.
Yeah. Because I had also last week, my child was acting completely out of the ordinary and like tantrums that I had never seen before that also triggered me so much. So I've also had seen behavior in myself that I hadn't seen in a very long time, and certainly not to this intensity level. And I was just sitting there and asking myself, what is going on? I know tantrums, I know intense tantrums, but I know them, I don't know, once a month. A big one every 6 weeks where I'm like, okay, this is like the big whammy. But that one was 3 solid days in a row of one or sometimes twice these crazy outbreaks, but like on another level, like not pretty, not cute from both of our sides. I don't think I have yelled and cried as much in the last 6 months than I have in these 3 days. And also with not going, like refusing to go to daycare to a point where I try to tackle her into the back feeds and you like tackling 20 kilos that are randomly moving and screaming and kicking and crying, and the neighbors already starting peeping out their windows. I had to bring her back in and drop her off with my husband and be like, I gotta go to work. See you later. I was just like so confused and in total shock. Where is this coming from? And then, like you said, 3 days later, she got sick, fever, lots of snotting and all that. And then I shared this with you and you said, oh my God, we had the same thing. And then we also know a mutual friend of ours who also told us the exact same thing. So we're on to something here, peeps. Like we're investigating this whole thing. We don't
We'll
know what
figure it
it
out.
is, but
Yeah.
something must be like going around that is not on a normal scale.
I mean, it is technically a flu epidemic here in the Netherlands. I mean, it's
Yeah.
so bad. And yeah, ours started, I think it was 3 weeks ago now, ours actually commenced. And as everyone can hear, myself and Maren both are quite bunged up or with a sore throat. I feel like I've swallowed a fly or a spider and I just can't get it out. And it's been like that for like 5 days. And I'm waking up in the middle of the night trying to cough this up. It's absolutely insane. We're consolidating with everyone here who might be going through this, has gone through this, potentially might go through this. I really hope it ceases as soon as possible because it's the most excruciating thing, not just to watch your child be sick, but for you to get sick and have to care
Yeah.
for your child, and
Oh
then the
God.
lack of sleep and
Yeah.
everything that comes with it. And equally, the Dutch men- medical health system here and how it operates. So I'm going to share how I was managing. Maren's going to share how she was managing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe these might resonate with you. Maybe you've got something completely different. Give us a hit up. Like, let us know. I mean, we're all about anything holistic, anything medical, anything that's going to goddamn help you at this stage because we need as much help as we can. So, yeah, for me, it was a case of, as we said, my daughter really started getting run down. And then that was it. She really hit the flu and she's never had a flu or really been properly sick. And I'd say she was 7 solid days zoned out. She didn't want food or drink and she just wanted a nap constantly, which is so unlike her. And so the way we have it is coming from Ireland, there's this magical potion called Calpol and it's a pink paracetamol basically, to the point that it has this little syringe in the box, and so you measure 5 ml, and for a 3-year-old you get 7.5 ml, but you measure out 5 ml on the actual full tube, And my daughter would easily put it into her house, shoot it in herself, and go, yay, more. And this time she wouldn't take one. You know, Maren and myself had a chat last week. And it was basically me going, what do I do? And Maren had to come back going, you've been gentle parenting overboard now at this stage for like a
Yeah.
couple of days. But it was because I can't, like, you can't force your child to take something because at the end of the day, that's the first sign of a baby when they realize if they close their mouth, that's their first way to have control over their body against an adult. And so that was the thing that I was really hesitant on for the first few days. We were sneaking it in everything, any juices, any waters, any fruits, anything potentially we can get into her. And I'd say we were only getting like 1.5 servings in her in a day because she just wouldn't eat or drink. And that's pretty crippling. The next thing I focused on was we had the air purifier, you know, the mat was raised, and it got to the stage where like by the second night she was already in my bed and she was like, you know, that was the only way she was going to have comfort. Here's a look into my personal life. I just booked a hotel across the road and said to my husband, please go there. You're not sick right now, but you can go.
Quarantine. Run, run.
I know, save yourself. But I just was like, we're going to book a hotel for the rest of the week. You just go there. Please get sleep. You can come back then and take care of us during the day because my daughter would be up coughing all night and I would end up having to sit holding her so she could sleep, not have that lying down coughing fit. So I would not sleep. But I was getting 3 hours of sleep at night for about a week. But he would get a full night's sleep, come over and then take care of us. He had to take a couple of days off work, obviously. So that's how kind of we ended up kind of managing the system. Then, yeah, as always, it was a case of the main focus with the fever is rest and fluids. Those are the two key elements in any fever.
One tip that I wanted to throw in when it comes to navigating the fever is to always check the hands and feet of your child. So if the hands are cold and the feet are cold, that means that the fever is still going to be rising. And if the hands and feet are warm, that means the fever has reached its peak. And that has helped me a lot to navigate if I should give paracetamol or if the fever still going to rise or not. And that has calmed my nerves a lot to check the hand and feet and check the status of the fever, if it's still on the rise when they're cold or if the fever is at its peak when the hand and feet are warm. And I hope that will help you also to navigate this fever rush.
I did eventually bring my daughter to the house arts by day 5, I think it was. And the house arts were a little surprised because her fevers were ranging between 38 to 42. And
42.
yeah. Oh, we had
Oh
a 40.
God.
Yeah. But the
Oh
thing is,
shit.
the temperatures were fluctuating so much. And I
Yeah.
have this thermometer, the gun
The head one?
thermometer. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it's inconsistent. So that's why I kept on constantly checking it. So now I've got the one that goes in the ear, the
Ear.
brawn
Yeah.
one, because that's the one the
Yeah.
doctor has. And I'm like, okay, that's reliable. So that's the one I'm getting
Yeah.
now.
I also have that one. Highly recommended. Yeah.
Highly recommend it. And
Yeah.
equally the oximeter, the pulsometer, where it measures
Yeah.
your
We
oxygen
also have
levels.
that. Yeah.
When you're struggling with coughing and breathing, there could be a reduced rate of your oxygen going in. And so for a child, you need to insert the thumb into it to get a proper measurement of your
Mm-hmm.
child.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you're aware. So these are just my tips. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no magical cure. There's nothing that's going to fix your child, but these hopefully will help you just get through it. It was excruciating, is the only thing I can say. And I'm hitting 3 weeks and I'm still run down.
I think the worst feeling really is so, of course, when you're sick yourself and then your patient is already running low, but this feeling of your child is so sick, you know, they need medication. And then when they get to a stage where they refuse it, this feeling of it's this crazy mixture of extreme anger and frustration that hits me then at one point where I'm like, we have to like there and then but at the same time you see them suffer so much so your heart breaks and this is really the worst feeling and you just know please just a little soup just a little liquid like just it because you know it will make them feel better period but then you don't want to have this whole struggle of I need to force them but at one point sometimes you have to because it's just not going anywhere. One of my magical tips is really having like icicles, popsicles in the fridge, in the freezer. Either buy them from whatever, Albert Heijn, Ecoplaza, the juicy ones, or you just mix up a little berry in a blender, freeze them, and have them in maybe ice cubes even. So they have something cold with a taste they can suck on. That was really a lifesaver here that got us through some very nasty days. But yeah, it's just this feeling that you have to go through this worrying, anger, frustration, and then on top of you're sick yourself, it's just this whole big mess of feelings, which obviously doesn't help anyone. But yeah, I think that's the hardest part for me, the emotional side of all this, getting sick. I've never dealt with this, I've always dealt with adults or myself, like, or other older people that they know you have to drink, they know you have to do that. But with a 3-year-old, they don't reason and they just feel horrible and they just want you to leave them alone, which I can 100% understand. But then, yeah, it's so hard. What it really helped for us was, yeah, having these icicles. And then because I'm a little hippy dippy lady, we have actually, and I will put the link for that. It's a German website, but they deliver to the Netherlands, so you can use Google Chrome as translate. There's actually a midwife who runs this whole shop for birth and children and mothers, and also lots of stuff for flu season. So I ordered humidifier from there, and she has these amazing wax sheets. They're beeswax sheets that are for different purposes. So there are ones for cold, they have ones for belly ache, for sleep problems, for all that, and they can be used when they're already 4 weeks old, the children, so from a very young age, and then for everyone else, they can be used unlimited time, so they can be on the chest or wherever it hurts for unlimited time, and then you have this wool wrapper around it that holds it in place. And that has really helped us so much when she has these coughing fits and she just keeps coughing. You put this on, you wait 5 minutes, and then it's like a magical switch. It's gone. And you have maybe like one cough an hour instead of 10 every second. And that has helped us tremendously to get through this. Yeah, but other than that, lots of bathing, like putting them in the bath, just let them soak. But yeah, it's not been fun, especially because when you're sick yourself, you can't really rest. And also honestly, TV and iPad time, I was like, I need to fucking sleep. I need to rest. She can watch a whole movie. I don't care. And then after we can watch another 3 episodes of Paw Patrol. It's just these days don't have any, it's like, yeah, mayhem. And I really I'm debating with myself. So, okay, what am I going to do bigger harm? Like screen time, yes, on the long run, but I need to get through the day. And the long run, I don't even want to call it damage, but the long term thing of too much
Effect.
screen time, yeah, it's like I don't fucking care at this point. I just need to get better, especially because I'm working in a profession also where I need to physically work. And so I need to be physically fit and be able to do my job. So yeah.
Yeah, and Maren was telling me about those patches. And so my mom came over a few months ago and I was like giving her a shopping list. So please bring over all this for the winter time. And I thought I was getting similar patches, but actually when I got to it and I was panicking, like opening the package nearly to put it on her, I was like, oh, let me just quickly check. And it was like not for under 5. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I had these like shower steamer tablets you put in the shower. And again,
Yeah.
not for children. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, just be careful, read all the labels, but it's always good. Like as I said, I got this back in November because I was prepping for like winter season because I was so panicked about what's going to come. And I do regret not getting the flu shot myself now. I think I'm going to look at that next year for sure. But
I'm so behind on all this. Like the only time I got this was I think during the whole COVID era. I think I got a flu shot once because it's not something that's advertised here.
no, it's never advertised anywhere except for elderly or
Yeah.
immunocompromised. So it's not something that any doctor anywhere in the world will be like, you got to do this. But there are families who are like actively saying, well, we got to do
Yeah.
this. So yeah, look, we're just sharing our thoughts, we're sharing our coughs. We're in the same boat as you. We're all in this together and we really hope this flu epidemic is gone very quickly and hopefully we'll all be prepared for the next time that it comes around
Yeah.
and we'll be fully prepared with all the ammo and potentially flu shots.
Yeah. And don't feel guilty about screen time in these days because, there's gonna be enough time to, referring to our last episode, read books and do all the crafting and fun stuff and going out. One thing I do recommend also, but like get out once a day at least, just around the block or something to get some fresh air or like really like open up the windows because that's also something that when you just want to be under the blanket, you just want to be warm, but then you also need some fresh air to get all this shit out of your house. So make sure you open the windows like thoroughly once a day or you get out once. But yeah, just don't feel guilty when you're sick. Nothing matters other than everyone feeling somewhat okay, somewhat going through it. Don't beat yourself up.
Ice pops
Do
for
you,
dinner is
yeah,
okay.
like really, these are not the
Fluids is
days
the most
to,
important.
yeah, these are really not the days to be yeah, worrying or like feeling guilty about stuff that you on a normal scale wouldn't do. And that is also to keep in mind, this is a very small proportion out of your whole year, out of their whole development. So let's not overreact on that and make sure we're all just getting better and feeling okay.
And with that, Maren,
Yeah, I'm taking it away. Every Wednesday we have an expert episode coming out for you on our Damn Parenting podcast, and every other Monday we are chatting it away with the Damn Chats. If you want to support us, you can find us on Instagram where you can follow us, Damn Parenting Podcast. If you want to listen to us, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also on YouTube. Make sure to share, subscribe, and like. And also give us 5 stars if you like this podcast so we can be seen and found by other people who might be interested in the info that we put out there. And with that, we'll leave it to it and we will hear you on Wednesday for another expert episode. Bye.
stay healthy.